Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to the Filthy Heathens. Check it out. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Bronson, Ryan, and Cody from the Filthy Heathens. How you guys doing?
What up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You guys are down in Dayton. I think you're about ready to go on tour, right? Like Friday?
Yeah, we're pretty much always on tour at this point. Yeah, I mean we'll be heading back out this weekend. We're actually we're at home this weekend, so we got a couple of home gigs we're gonna do, and then we're heading out after that. We're gonna be heading to Nashville. I think is our next gig after that at 3rd and Lindsley down there.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a cool one. It's like, what is it? Nashville, Illinois, Kentucky, and Indianapolis.
Yeah, June 25th in Nashville if you're around.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, man.
26th.
Awesome. Well, Aaron was cool enough to send me your press info because I was unaware of your band, and I was checking it out, and I was like, hell yeah, I dig Southern rock. It kicks ass. And I was listening to your music, and I was like, yeah, it would be really cool to talk with you guys. So thank you so much for being on Fans of Bands.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, you're the most recent EP is Etheridge, and I really dig the mix that you guys have got on there of like some, like fairly, heavy rockers and then some kind of easy rambling tunes. The opening, yeah. I love the opening. I gotta tell you. It like sets you back off on your heels, you're like kind of chilled and relaxed, and all of a sudden, boom, here comes the little pistol, and you're like, yes, all right.
Yeah, we gave five beers to Cody and said, hey, figure out how to play the banjo real quick for that.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and then I got to tell you, my favorite tune is the Devil Likes Me.
Devil Like Me.
Yeah, that's cool.
That the guitar lines in that, just I don't know, something about it, just like this speaks to me, man. So it's so good, so good.
Well, as a guitar and Blair in the band, I thank you for that.
So tell me.
Ryan actually recorded the guitars in that song. He's our bass player.
Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah.
Tell them all about it.
I was there when he recorded, so talking through it.
Yeah, it was an interesting period at the beginning of recording that album, and we were kind of building the lineup that of what we became, but yeah, I did play guitar on that song.
All right. So tell me about the making of the album. Like for each of you, what was like the most memorable moment when you were creating that?
Getting yelled at by Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My most memorable moment in making the record, man, there was, I don't know if I can nail it down to one moment, but for me, like just the most fun was just being in there, and we were pretty light about it. We'd go in there, we'd drink, we'd smoke, we'd hang out and brainstorm, and it was like, man, it was really good to go in there and be able to slow play it like that for a while. And then suddenly out of nowhere, all of a sudden we're gaining some momentum, and we were like, we better put our foot on the gas, get this record done. So but yeah, for a while there, it's like this slow playing it sure is nice.
Yeah, you just touched on the same thing, but for me, it's not a moment as much as it is a feeling of like every time I've ever recorded, you're always under the gun and behind the eight ball. There's never, any time or money. And this was the first time where when we originally went into this, we were like upfront at first that like, we're going to take our time. We don't care. We're going to pool all of our money that we're making doing this and pour it back into the record until we feel happy with it. And that's the first time that I ever got to do that. So that's definitely the most memorable thing for me, is like being able to go in there and go, yeah, that was cool, but let's try that on a jazz bass, or
right.
you know what? I didn't like that. Let's go back to the P bass or what, like, and I've never been able to do that. So that experience sticks out the most.
It'll probably never happen again that way.
So, you know, when you were taking your time making the album, did you have pretty much like, had you thought through like all the tunes, how you wanted to have them appear on the album, and were they just ready to go, or did you spend some time in the studio thinking about the arrangement of those tunes, and did you tweak any of them as you were going?
Both.
Yeah, we recorded more songs than what we even put out. You know, we just kind of went in there and we were kind of experimenting in there a little bit, and just kind of seeing what we liked, what we didn't like. And I kind of touched on this earlier. You know, all of a sudden we were, you know, going to be in 18, 19 states this year playing, and it kind of snuck up on us, and we were kind of taking our time a little too much. So we we were like, hey, we better pick like 5, 6, 7 of these, throw something out so that we have, you know, a tangible thing, you know, out there.
Right. Yes, like the songs that are on the EP were some of the songs that we were playing even before these songs were recorded. We were playing them live.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so we went to the studio to record them. It was cool to see how, like, if you heard all these songs back before we actually recorded them, they'd sound different, because the way that you hear them now on the EP wasn't how we were playing them when we first were playing them out live.
Yeah, we were just kind of getting out and trying to make some money to record the record, and then it, like I said, we took our time and put a lot of effort into that, and that's kind of what the sound developed into.
So now that you've got, go ahead.
I think along the way we determined that we wanted to focus on like mainly a collection of Bronson and Etheridge songs, and that's how we kind of landed where we did with the name of the EP and the collection of songs. It was a flexible process, but we kind of selected strategically after we came up with that.
Right.
Nice. And so, you know, you mentioned that you'd kind of the way that those songs originated and how they are now. Do you still play with that when you're playing live? Like, do you now stick to the way you've recorded them, or do you still like just let it flow depending on the show?
Well, you know, it's funny. I even said what I said before, because when I recorded the guitar parts that I do on Etheridge, I was like a week in this band, and I got like hired on to play guitar, and then like, cool, all right, now you're gonna go to the studio and cut all these songs that you just learned like 4 days ago, you know. So
yeah, Cody probably gets a little more experimental with that than the rest of us. Some of these songs I'd written you know, a while back, they're, except for Little Pistol and In Rides the Drifter, which is the intro to the record.
Yep.
The rest of the songs I wrote with my buddy Etheridge Wilson, which is why the album is called Etheridge, and the pictures on the front cover of the album are pictures of my buddy Etheridge. He's my favorite songwriting partner, longtime songwriting partner, and he passed away in February of 2024.
Oh,
and
sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of where the title come from, and part of the reason we sped up on it to get it out, as you know, to commemorate him and honor him. But yeah, I mean, for me, some of these songs I've been playing for, you know, a few years, just, you know, acoustic, and you know, we went in there and made them our own. But like Cody said, I mean, he hadn't been in the band very long. Ryan played guitar on most of these tracks and bass. So we definitely we try to keep them very close to the record, because we don't want people to show up and be like, what the hell was that?
Well, yeah. What did
I want you to get what you paid for.
Right.
So
Ready live.
but yeah, we do like it's layered a little bit differently than we did on the album. Some of the time, we have come across cool things live that we'd already recorded, and then there's a pause in a song in particular,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like,
And I also forgot how to play banjo, so I can't play that live.
Man.
so, but yeah, so like I would say that we got them to the presentable point, but you know, we're always game for something cool to change. I think.
Yeah, if we bump into something cool, we're gonna start playing it that way live.
Exactly, yeah, or yeah, certain things come up, or we're gonna jam on this live longer, or whatever. I think we're down with that.
Nice. So I know this is an extremely hard question because it's like picking your kids, but if there's a song on the album that speaks to you each the most, what would that be?
Oh, that'd be different for me, probably.
One always at the bar for me is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I was real deep into American Aquarium at the time, and that was one of the first songs I ever wrote that I was like, man, this is just a deep, heavy lyric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that one, I've always loved that one for whatever reason. You know, it's not everyone's favorite on the record, but I just really love that song.
Yeah, mine's a little different because you said released on the album. I love all of them, but mine is that new release we just did, Cyril. That's one song that we're actually starting to work up live because it's really just acoustic. But like that one, because I am a veteran, so that song really, it's hard to listen to even when we play it live every weekend. Still hard to listen to.
Yeah.
It is. I would say the song I'm happiest with is probably Outlaw. At the end of the day, I think we did the best job, I think, of bringing that one to life and kind of matching our live energy. A lot of what we're doing and building is based on our live show, and I feel like that song just sticks out. Is like,
Yeah.
sounds as heavy. It's not exactly the same, but it's as heavy when I listen to it on the record as it is live. Hits as hard.
Yeah. That's another. I would say that's a close second. You know, for me, you know,
Right.
Devil
Right
Like
on.
Me, and then that one. You know that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which I think
Hopefully
they go
my
in
wife
order,
is not-
right?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Hopefully my wife's not listening. I wrote Devils Like Me about her, so yeah, excellent choice.
Well, you know, Cody, you mentioned Cyril, and that's the one album, the song that I've was most recently listening to, and I was like, really, you know, that's a strong and powerful song. I'm curious, you know, would you guys be willing to share the story behind that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can do that.
Bronson, yeah.
So one of my best friends in the world, his name was Cyril Rockwell. He was a veteran. He was a guy that was older than me, that I always looked up to, and you know, we just become real good friends, and you know, we just hung out all the time. And he moved out to California. I was living in Nashville at the time, and he come pick me up in Nashville. Me, him, and his cousin drove him out there, moved him to California, and his mom lived out there, and it was like he was kind of going out there to just get a fresh start on life and everything. And you know, he'd been out there a couple of years, and he ended up committing suicide. He had battled PTSD for a while after being overseas, and you know, it just I never really experienced that, you know, with a friend of mine, you know, taking their own life, especially in the way that he did, where you know, I still talk to him all the time. He had just come visited me in Nashville a couple months before that, and you know, was just the happiest guy I'd ever met. And at the time, I didn't know anything about PTSD.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, I started kind of writing that song almost as like a therapy to myself from, you know, dealing with losing a friend at a young age. You know, that's not something I expected to deal with like that. And as I kind of went through my own personal therapy session of doing that, I learned more about veterans and PTSD and the fact that there's 22 veterans a day that take their own life. And at that point, it became more of a mission for me to, spread this word. Anytime I get a microphone and an audience of people, I'm going to bring up the facts that I didn't know, that, like I said, we have 22 veterans a day that take their own life. And I want people to hear the name Cyril, my buddy that here no more after battling with this internal struggle. So that's how I ended up writing that. It was kind of a mission for me.
Yeah, it's a great song, man. It's super powerful, and it's I remember watching this. I think it was 60 Minutes or some show where they were talking about veterans dealing with PTSD and just how many actually take their own lives. It's just like staggering.
22 today is the statistic right now. Probably more than that, to be honest with you.
Cody's got a band on right now. You can see little wristband of one of his buddies. That's a real thing.
I think we have a fan that's joined. Matt, are you there?
That better not be Matt Westerman. Bless his heart, it is Matt Westerman.
Live in the Prius.
Yeah. There's the old legend himself.
Yeah.
So, Matt, do you have any questions for these guys?
When's the Minnesota show gonna be rescheduled?
Man, I don't know, dude.
It sucks. I was looking for the Northwoods. That's a bummer.
That is a bummer, man. I hate that for them guys too.
Yeah, it's the whole shebang with the Northwoods and Riders both closing up shop. But
yeah.
Well, Matt, where are you located?
We're at Maple Grove, Minnesota.
All right, awesome. So
that's a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm from Texas. I usually always add that in.
Well, I was just going to ask, because usually I like to kind of rewind and go back to the beginning as far as the band. So how did the Filthy Heathens come to be? How did the band form?
So much like Matt, I messed around and accidentally moved north instead of south. I was living in Tennessee, and I was supposed to be moving to Pensacola, and I sold my house, and I called the guy that I was going to be working for in Pensacola and said, "Hey, I got my house sold. I'll close in about 27 days." And he was like, "Brother, you're going to have to wait till after the first year to come down here." And he had already told me like 3 weeks. And I was like, "Dude, it's September. Like, I just sold my house. Like, what do you mean first of the year?" I'm like, so I ended up doing a job transfer to Columbus, and I got up here and I knew Ryan. And I got up here and I had a song cut by a Texas artist that went #1 on the Texas charts, and it kind of like re-energized me to want to play music again. So I reached out to Ryan, and Ryan knew Craig, our drummer, who's not here, and the three of us started jamming a little bit, and then we had worked with a couple of guitar players. We had a guy walk off stage on us one time, and we had a gig the following weekend, and so we reached out to Cody to see if he could do like a fill-in thing for us, and he come over, and
I'm glad you walked off stage.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Matt. But, so Cody come over and like rehearsed with us, and he was like, "Man, I like this a lot," and we were like, "Good," and he's like, "I'd like to be a part of this more permanently," and we were like, that's crazy because we would love you to do that. Because
Wants open.
we ain't seen our guy since he left.
Yeah.
So, and that's how Cody come about. And then Cody had met Cavan. He was playing down in Arkansas, and Cavan lived down there. And he come and seen Jesse, who Cody was playing for, and got to talking to Cody, and he was like, I'm really trying to pursue music. And Cody's like, man, move up to Ohio. Like, there's a pretty good scene in the Cincinnati area. You could, come up there. You can make a living playing music. And so Kevin come up here, and at the time we just so happened to need a second guitar player, and so we snatched him up real quick. He's a good player, a young guy. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how did each of you guys get into music? Like, what was your gateway into playing each of your instruments? How did you get started?
Long story short, I traded 2 chickens for a guitar when I was about 7.5 years old. That's a true story, by the way. And I started to play guitar. My biggest thing was bluegrass in the beginning, and so I was big into bluegrass. And when I got older, I was tired of playing to 80 to 95-year-old women when I turned like 16, 17. So I moved to country music. And then that's probably where I spent most of my years playing country music. And then I met these boys, and now we're doing the rock and roll, Southern rock country type thing.
Nice.
Similar story. That's chickens for me. My granddad got me a guitar, and that's how I got going. And my granddaddy played banjo and dobro, and he and I would go pick bluegrass. Similar 85 to 95-year-old women at the VFW halls, FOPs, random small town restaurants, and same thing. I kind of moved out of that into country, just because our target audience in the bluegrass circuit was kind of drying up. So,
and I wasn't going back to 95-year-old women.
Yeah, that's both of us got started doing bluegrass.
I got started with like classic rock and even like Blink 182 is probably actually what got me really into wanting to be in a band of all bands. And I got my first guitar when I was like 10 years old, and I was into classic rock, and my dad was real into like old bands like Rush and the Talking Heads and Metallica and that kind of thing. So that's what I grew up listening to. And about 12 years old, my buddies and I were going to form a band, and I was going to be the guitar player because I was already into it. And the guy that was supposed to be the drummer shows up to school, and he's got a new guitar. And so I bought a bass because like nobody else would do that. And that's the only reason I got one. Yeah. And because nobody else wanted to do it. And well, nobody's going to buy a bass on me. So I saved up my money and I bought a bass, and kind of started out with the same type of bands. And I kind of had a knack for bass, and I was able to get into like some cover bands with some of like my dad's friends. They were pretty seasoned players at that point. And I was like, at this point, 13, 14 years old. So that's what kind of got me cut. And as I was, gigging around and stuff like that, that's I originally met Bronson. Was just branching out a little bit. I was pretty trained up in the rock stuff, and I was getting into some other things. So I worked with even a Latin jazz band for a little bit.
Oh shit.
And I liked what Bronson was doing. So when that came up, this was a while back, but when that crossed my path, I was like, yeah, this sounds like a cool gig. I'll jump in. And then when I met Bronson, we kind of immediately became tight, so that was kind of the planted seed.
Yeah.
I got to find us a Latin jazz song. I didn't know Ryan played that.
Ryan.
Yeah.
We need a Blink 182 cover now.
Yeah, but it wasn't. So how I even got serious about buying my first real instrument was Blink 182 like blew up, and that's what made all my buddies want to be in a band. And I was originally supposed to be the
It's how
guitar
a
player.
band can be
Yeah.
on the same page, but yet so different at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I grew up listening to Bill Monroe, and this guy's
Yeah.
like getting big on Blink
Well, and
182.
I grew up listening to like Rush and you know,
Right. Ryan never
Right.
lost that like the bass player frontman mentality either.
Yeah.
Like if you see us live, Ryan is up front. He's like jumping around, getting
Yeah.
after it. Like, we're not one of them bands that the bass player stands back there next to the drums.
No. We're trying to get Craig to get off that drum set too.
Yeah, carry it around, brother.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I like that more. You know, when you see a good band that's actually like everybody's engaged, as opposed to like, you know, the bass player or the drummer's just, you know, stone faced or whatever. You know, I think part of what, you know, makes, you know, bluegrass, I don't care if it's bluegrass, country, what kind of style. If you're engaged, you know, if you see the band engaged in it, you as an audience member feel engaged. At least that works for me.
Yeah,
So
we
I
definitely
think
pride
it's
ourselves
awesome.
on the live show for us too, you know, because it's like you listen to the album and you're like, man, that's a good song. It's like, but you should hear it live though, because it's way cooler because we're up there taking our shirts off and everything. I mean, it's hard telling what the Heathens are going to do.
Yeah,
Playing outside with the congregation.
yeah. We was in.
I'll play on Matt's shoulders too, brother.
Hey, we was in Charlotte, and I looked over. I was like, "Where's Cody?" Cody's outside smoking a cigarette, playing guitar.
Where was that at? Ohio somewhere, wasn't it?
No, that was at the
the
Thirsty
Thirsty
Beaver
Beaver.
in
Yeah.
Charlotte,
Oh,
Carolina.
Oh man, awesome.
I was being respectful. I took it outside.
Hanging out.
So, you know, sort of along those lines of like how you got started and influenced. What was the very first concert each one of you guys went to?
Ooh. Mine was Merle Haggard and George Jones at
man.
Morello County Fair, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine's like I think it was Spice Girl.
And it's okay if you say Weird Al. It's fine.
Yeah, hey, it's good too.
My first concert I was ever like taken to as a kid was actually Alan Jackson. But my first concert that like my dad took me when I like got into music was Rush.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I think I want to say my first concert might have been
We lost Matt.
also at the Preble County Fair. It might have been Charlie Daniels.
Yeah, Charlie was there one.
Oh,
year.
wow.
Yeah.
And my mom got me tickets for my birthday, and me and my buddy, like we was just kids, and she was like, "Yeah, we'll take you and drop you off," and I was like, "No way, dude." We was in there acting up just like a couple of kids like we were getting weird looks because we didn't have no grown-ups with us.
Piles of cotton candy.
Yeah.
Nobody tell you that.
Oh man. So if you guys could take the Filthy Heathens like anywhere in the world, where would you like to play, and who would you like to have on the bill with you?
Oh God.
I would like to play at Red Rocks.
Oh yeah,
That's probably the
the go-to. Yeah.
Yeah. On the bill, man, I would love to play with Whiskey Myers. I would love to play with Dead or Alive or
Yeah, it can be
like somebody that,
This is total fantasy, so yeah, it could be somebody dead. Yeah,
okay.
it's totally fine. Yeah.
man, I would love to see Led Zeppelin live.
Oh man.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
What's
Go ahead,
that?
brother, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, have you watched that movie, Becoming Led Zeppelin?
Uh-uh.
No, it's awesome.
Bronson don't watch
Yeah,
hockey.
here's the thing. I've never seen anything. I've seen like 11
Yeah,
movies.
That's the worst person to ask.
And I've never seen any shows. I don't know what I've been doing this whole time.
You've been playing guitar, man, and writing songs.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think I'd be better at guitar.
Mine wouldn't be far off Red Rocks. I would love to play the Ryman though.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
'cause being a country guy at heart, you know, it's like the Ryman's the mother church. That's where
Yeah.
in my mind, where all music stems from is the rhyming. But realistically, if I was to do it with anybody that we already, there's like some bands that we played with already, like Georgia Thunderbolts, like boys like that. That like I
back.
want to do shows with them. And but if it was a band that we ain't played with yet, yeah, probably Whiskey Mars, Blackberry Smoke's another one.
Oh my God!
Oh
yeah,
yeah, Blackberry Smoke.
Blackberry Smoke.
That'd be huge.
I'd probably quit music.
Yeah.
The guitar spot would be back open for business.
Yeah. Charlie
No,
would walk
I-
over and say hi, and you'd be like, done.
The Machine Shop up there in Michigan is a cool venue as well. That like is one of my bucket list venues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys played there?
No,
No.
Oh yeah, that
Love
place
to.
that place is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys should play with Whitey Morgan. You ever played with him?
no, we've seen
No.
Whitey Morgan a
We
few
would
times.
love to hook that up, brother. We would
Yeah.
tomorrow. if you want.
We actually saw Whitey Morgan with Whiskey Myers last year, I
Oh,
think.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And we
Band
saw,
trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
it's-
saw Whitey Morgan for my birthday one year. It was a good time.
Yeah. I think, well, it's been a while since I saw him, but when I saw him, it was with Cody Jinks. That would be another good band to play with. Or
Oh
good
yeah,
guy
yeah.
to play with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Ryan, what was yours as far as first show?
A bucket list venue.
Or Buckless venue, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I would the Machine Shop and Bogarts for the region. You know,
Nice.
those are
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are definitely my top two. I think the Filthy Heathens would do. You know, we're from the Southern Ohio area, so Bogarts is kind of like the go-to spot that you know I've grown up with in the scene. So I'd love to do that with the Heathens, and I'd love to get the Machine Shop is like one of the sought after, like that's one of the bigger, you know, holy grail venues for like a lot of rock bands and stuff from this area. So that's like definitely on my list. I've never played there. So
Yeah, it's a
forward
sweet
to
little
that.
place, man. It's not huge, but they've got killer lights and sound and a good bar. I mean, if you like
The bar part, my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll go there.
my holy grail venue though, like the coolest place I've ever seen a concert though is for me the best experience I've had was Black Sabbath at the Hollywood Bowl.
oh wow.
So
Done.
that's my bucket list venue. Like that was the coolest. It doesn't get any cooler than that.
I
to
would have
me.
said that was my first concert. Right? Nothing
That
comes
was
before
definitely
that.
the coolest. I was like, oh
Or
my
after.
God, the whole time. Yeah.
Man, so when was that? And how did you get to see that?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I was in Southern California. I used to build flight simulators
Oh,
actually, and I would go all over the world doing that. And I was at March Air Force Base, and we honestly we just randomly had a late night, and we were driving home, and it was a
Random.
radio ad with my coworker, where it was like Black Sabbath one night only, the Hollywood Bowl, and I mean this is like 10 years ago maybe,
Yeah.
but it was totally random, and we both just looked at each other, you know, like a 90s movie, and we're figuring it out. So we just randomly showed up at this thing. You couldn't even get tickets online. So we showed up and bought them off some like pimp, you know, that printed them off. paid like,
Some old road pimp.
oh, it was like, yeah, it was like $200 each.
oh
And
man.
my partner was like, oh, dude, no way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've seen you guys blow this at the bar. Come on. And so we took the chance, and sure enough, they worked. And we got into general admission.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool. It was so packed, but it was the coolest concert.
That's the
I
first
can
time I'm
think-
hearing that story too, man. That's cool.
It was a blast.
That's awesome. Well, you know, since we're on a roll of like most awesome concerts, so Cody, what was your favorite? Was there?
Most awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. There's a lot of them, and my memory goes about as much as a goldfish. So thinking back, I'm like, I don't know. But one of the last ones, I think the coolest ones, me and Bronson went to a Railbird this year, thanks to our management, Mountain View Talent. And Blackberry
rail?
Smoke. I said it, but we went and saw Blackberry Smoke, and we was front row. I mean,
Oh,
holding on to
man.
the
We was
rail.
Matt Westerman.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like front row to Blackberry Smoke, and it's just that is pure music, first of all, but it's like that's rock and roll music. Loud guitars, they are spot on. Everybody is an absolute professional on stage, like musically, and just they look cool. You know what I mean? So it's like in that live, you're like, holy crap.
They started playing and we was right there on the rail and Chris, our manager, he was like, hold on a second. And he like walked over, get a beer, and he was like standing like 5 foot back. And he was like, he come back up there and he was like, man, I'd get out of there for a second, man. He was like, that bass hit me so hard, I was about to puke.
Dude, I was locked in, dude. I could not leave. Yeah. That first note they hit, dude, I was like, I'll never leave here again. They have to pry me to this bar on this rail.
That picture they took, he looked like he was a little sick on the rail.
You know, we said we were gonna send him to the your training class.
6-part, 6-week.
Yeah.
Front row or don't go.
Yeah. This is how you sit front row to a heathen show.
So Bronson, the question was, what was your favorite show that you've seen? Is it Blackberry Smoke or somebody else?
Yeah, that one's up there for me. I seen Leonard Skinner a couple years ago, and obviously not the original lineup, but by any means, but man, it was something special about it. For one, I was supposed to designated drive us, and I failed miserably. At one point it was like, well, it ain't gonna be me. I can promise you that. And man, it started pouring the damn rain, and man, we was just getting soaking wet. And I mean, they just never stopped playing, and it was super cool.
Awesome.
Like, that's one that sticks out to me.
Yeah. Isn't Ricky Medlock in that band now, or was?
I don't know who's in the band currently.
Yeah.
This was a couple years
Medlock
ago.
Was, yeah, but I don't know now.
Yeah.
Was.
Well, I mentioned that because I loved Blackfoot back in the day. It was like so good.
Train.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Matt, how about you? What was your most favorite show? And it better be.
That's hard.
Filthy Heathens
That's hard to choose from. Probably
The
the
Heathens, I
Turnpike
swear to God.
Troubadours. Probably the Turnpike Troubadours first show back after like 3 years at Kane's Bar. That
Wow.
the energy was just surreal. I got there at 9:30 in the morning. The doors didn't open like 7 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
It just sat outside drinking PBRs all day with like-minded people. So we had a blast. The doors open, and of course, once the Turnpike hit the stage, it was pretty awesome. But between them, then Whiskey Myers at Highway 30 Fest, that was pretty awesome. But I can go on and on. Cody Jinks and Waddy Morgan and Missouri. There's tons of them. It's hard to pick a one.
Nice.
The Filthy Heathens at Bucks. I mean,
Yeah, you're damn right.
one of the best shows ever out there. Yeah.
Started pouring the rain.
It was all service.
Yeah. So, when you guys are getting ready to go on stage, you got any like things you have to do, some rituals, something you just got to do to like get ready for the stage?
I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah.
No, not like that.
Pray to Jesus.
I mean,
Pray to
ain't that
Jesus.
bad.
we get properly tuned up.
Hey, you want to know what Bronson does? Go on YouTube and look up "Mommy May May Mash My M&Ms."
Yeah.
15 minutes long. That's his warm up.
I do a vocal warm up. I accompany that with a couple of beers and whatnot. We get in the zone.
Yeah, it's a vocal warm up and a beer too, usually.
I'll stretch my hands just because I'm a guitar player. But yeah, other than that, it's just kind of going up there and doing it for however long we're supposed to be doing it.
I'll stretch my legs occasionally if I remember to, because I consider myself to be a phenomenal dancer.
We do take our shirts off once before the show just to make sure we can get it off.
Yeah, just make sure we get it down pat.
Yeah. Make sure you don't lose your earring.
Oh man.
Yeah, usually that's one of my main things before we start is I dick with my in-ear monitors. I cuss a lot because I hate them because I'm tangled up in them. Because I got long hair. I usually got a necklace or two on, and I've got a shirt on, and I'm like, there's just so many things to be tangled up in right now.
That's just us. If you were to ask our drummer Craig, we call him the captain. He would probably eating chicken fingers somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And then Kevin, he would be on the phone.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin's gonna close go out. Yeah. Captain's got to get tendies and fries.
and then that's for warm-ups, yeah.
So how did he get the name of the captain?
We can't tell you.
It's you don't want to know, brother.
We can't.
Show, ask him. He might. If he gives you the story, you'll know.
All right. All right.
The video's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not cheap.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Behind a paywall.
Yeah.
So we all got funny names for each other in the band. You know, it's like
Cody's the wood duck.
And Kevin's Mr. Protein. Well, actually, it depends on what state you go to. What is actually nickname?
Yeah, we always say Kevin. Kevin's from Camden, Arkansas, and they call him the king of country music down there. And then sometimes we'll call him the high protein angel because he's always worried about like trying to get protein, or we'll stop at a gas station. He's like, boy, I got to get some protein and buy a protein drink or a protein bar or something.
Or go to a live show and we'll tell you exactly why he gets that nickname.
and we used to call Ryan the Filthy Heathen. We've since let up on that.
That was the old Ryan.
He is in a committed relationship now.
Oh man, that's awesome. So you get this, tour coming up. You've been on the road pretty much all the time. So what are you guys looking forward to this summer, as far as for the Filthy Heathens?
For me personally, I'm really looking forward to Third and Lindsley in Nashville because that was a place I lived in Tennessee for 12 years, and Cody also lived in Nashville as well. But to me that's special. I've seen some great gigs there. I've played open mics and stuff there. I've played guitar for other people there, and to me that'll just be special to come.
Probably a pop country band.
Yeah, big time. That'll be cool to me, to stand on that stage where I've seen Tennessee Jet, I've seen Ward Davis there, I've seen Waddy Morgan there, and that's just cool to me. Anytime we stand on a stage where people we look up to and model our sound after have stood before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
About y'all.
What am I looking the most forward to?
I'm also looking forward to we're playing a festival out in Idaho as well, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Shane Smith and the Saints will be out there. That'll be cool. And just like going that far west, getting out there, into the mountain ranges, see some beautiful scenery. We see a lot of bean fields and cornfields out that window, so if we get a little something different, that's always good.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing everybody, dude. It's like Matt and Andy, and there's like some other dudes that follow us out. It's like it's that's the coolest part to me is going to the next gig somewhere we've never been, as far away from home as we've ever been. Yeah, and then dudes we've already seen before show up because we play in our hometown. And it's like dudes we grew up with our whole life won't even show up. Yeah. But then we go out like
just a local band
home, and you got dudes like Matt and all those dudes that show up, and you're like, why do you like us so much? Why do you that to me is so cool that people actually like us enough to want to come out and see us and drive just as far as we did to get there.
Yeah. That is always very cool when you show up somewhere and it's like we just played a show in North in Ohio. And these guys, Chris and Linda, that follow us around, they're from Indiana, and they was there, and we're like, man, what are y'all doing here? That's like always cool to see people that have put in miles to come see us.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome. Ryan, anything you're looking forward to that's different from the?
I'm really looking forward to. We get to go to kickstands up at Sturgis in August.
Oh, awesome!
They're like August 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah.
That's kind of been the
Bike week in Sturgis.
Well,
that's
it's not always gonna be a good time, but like a lot of the bands and artists that we look up to, that's kind of the path. Like that's an honor for us to do that. And I think the North Springs Music Festival that's in October is gonna be sweet. That's with Taylor Honeycutt and them Dirty Roses, Joe Stan Band.
Yeah, everybody Joe
Stan.
Like, we've gotten to go a couple of times, and he's been, he treated us right.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot to learn from him.
Yeah,
and
so we're looking forward.
Tony Logue will be on that gig as well, and we've jammed with him a few times, and
he's like one of the first bands we actually started working with.
He kind of
cool.
He kind of broke us into this circuit, so that was like very cool to come full circle and do another one with them.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good weekend for sure. And we're gonna hang all weekend at that one, I believe. So
oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Awesome. And hell, them Dirty Roses playing there. Yeah. So
that's what I mean. Yeah, we get to
like a bunch of our friends from the road will be there. So that's always cool.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I want to thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. I've got one last question for everyone, and that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
None.
Yeah, I was going to stop it right there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nah, dude, I can't even eat like barbecue chicken pizza, really.
Oh,
like,
I know. I can't stand barbecue on pizza. It's fucked.
I'm a traditionalist. Like, if
fish and no fruit.
If I'm getting pizza, I want it to taste like pizza. If I'm getting a quesadilla, I want it to taste like a quesadilla. Like all the
he's getting worked up.
Like I just said this about like fancy food is like we ate some fancy food this past weekend, and it's like, man, these people just try to take stuff that don't belong and be like, oh yeah, we're good enough chefs to fit that in there. And it's like regular people are like, boy, I wish they had Uncrustables here.
Yeah. Number 7, no pickle, large Coke.
Yeah.
Awesome. Matt, how about you?
Oh, no pineapple on pizza. Absolutely not.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh,
no, I don't get the craze, but hey.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Give me a stuffed crust supreme from Pizza Hut.
Oh,
come
there
on
you
now.
go.
Come on now.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you again so much for being on Fans with Bands. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to, hopefully, I mean, you'll be up in Michigan sometime. I can come check it out. So.
Yeah, we would love that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I know we'll be in Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's a lake between us.
It's still drums there, Bronson. Get out of the map.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm saying Bronson never looked at a map. So
Wisconsin somewhere, I think.
But besides like knowing movies, that's the other thing I'm the worst at. It's like where things are on the map.
People were like, you should go out to California. It's like, hell, we could just drive here tomorrow.
Like I know.
Load in, come on.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Nebraska anyways. We might as well pop over.
The hot jump and the skip over.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I got to get to Michigan at some point.
Yeah.
Especially in Flint, where Waddy Morgan's from.
That's right. Yeah. Come up there. Go to the machine
great
shop.
Water. Try to drink it.
Yeah.
For nothing but good things with the machine shop. So one of these days, I got to.
Yeah. So
roll on in.
I'll have to.
Have you not been there, Matt?
Not yet.
Oh really? Oh yeah. You guys got to go. So yeah, I'll have to ping Kevin Zink. He's the guy that runs that place. That's his place. So I'll have to let him know. Filthy Heathens. Yeah.
Maybe we all just load up together and just show up there at one time.
Yeah, just say, hey, we got this band. They're ready to play.
We can pop the old machine shop cherry together.
Yeah.
Tore out, man.
The band's right there. It's ready to roll.
There it is. The band's ready. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Matt,
Thank you
for
so
calling
much.
in.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, thanks,
See y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Many thanks to Bronson, Ryan, and Cody from the Filthy Heathens, along with their dedicated fan Matt, for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. These guys are super fun to talk with. Their passion for both their music and their fans comes through loud and clear. Their new album Etheridge offers up rock music with country soul. These guys live on the road and are currently rambling across the United States. Watch their socials for the tour dates. See the show notes for all the details and links. Bands are nothing without you, the fans. Purchasing music and merchandise is critical to their survival. If you can help out your favorite bands, please do. If you're in Michigan, consider following the Playing in Detroit Area Tonight and SE for Southeast Michigan Music Facebook pages. They are fantastic places for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans of Bands. Spread the word by rating the show, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your family, telling your priest, tell everyone, and leave a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jam.